Hello, amazing, beautiful people. This is Milena. Today, I would like to share an exercise with you, a tool that is short and sweet, but very, very powerful, and it can be expressed in a single sentence. I use it to snap me back into awareness whenever I fall out of it. For me, it has been most beneficial to use it in situations that I experience in an unpleasant way. I either had an interaction, something has happened, I'm annoyed, frustrated, sad, triggered by something. In one way or another, I experience this situation in an unpleasant way. Asking ourselves the question, at what point did I forget that I'm the creator of my experience? You see, one of the reasons why we experience situations as unpleasant is because it's not what we want to experience, or at least it's not what we think we want to experience. We don't like how it feels. And the reason why I experience it in that way is because we feel something or someone outside of it created it. Usually when we have the awareness that we are the ones who have created it, we also know that we can change it, tweak it at any moment and have a different experience and move beyond it. Not judge ourselves for the fact that we have created it, but not blame anything or anybody else outside of us, and simply step into that creator role and create whatever it is that we want to experience. There are some moments, of course, when we lose a loved one of our pets dies, for example, when this exercise probably won't work very well because there are certain emotions associated with it. It's really tough on our physical, on our emotional bodies. And then in situations like that, there are some different tools that we can use. And some of them I have already talked about in other videos. Why is this beneficial, and what happens when we ask ourselves that question? Just the other day, I was in a situation where I started feeling that way. I started experiencing things painfully because somebody close to me had made a decision that I believed would affect me quite negatively. And in a way, maybe, suffering is a strong word, but I felt like I was going to suffer. I was going to have an unpleasant experience because of this person's decision. So, of course, I had all the emotional reactions and triggers associated with it. Of course, one of the very first things that I did is I allowed those emotions to express and I processed them, and we have talked about it in the past. But the second thing that I did is I asked myself that question. At what point did I forget that I'm the creator of my reality? And this sentence is not to figure out the exact point, because that's not what's important. It's to bring me back into the awareness that I am, because that brings me back into my point of power, into my role of creator. And that opens my mind to the opportunities of being able to create whatever it is that I want to create and experience instead. So instead of blaming the other person and all of that, I shifted and I moved in my mind and in my thoughts into what I wanted to experience instead. I didn't have to worry about how that was going to happen. I simply moved into what I wanted to experience instead. And then I allowed myself to experience it as if it was real already, and all the associated emotions of satisfaction and joy, because I already had created what I wanted to experience, my emotions aligned with it. Afterwards, I moved into gratitude that I had remembered that I'm the creator of my reality, and I finished that exercise. Now, one thing that can happen is all those different options can start coming into your mind, all those different ways in which you can have a different experience. And you basically daydream it into reality, but your emotions always, the way you vibrate has to align with what it is that you want to create. The next step might be some sort of an inspired action. And we say inspired action because it doesn't come from a place of blame, of pain, of, oh, but this is happening, but I don't want for this to happen. I want to experience something else. When we have cleared all of that from our system and stepped into our powerful creator selves and we just know what we want to experience, sometimes we are inspired to take some sort of an action. It could be to do something. It could be to have a conversation with a particular person in a particular way. It can be any of a number of things. Take that inspired action. And afterwards, for me, I needed to have a conversation with the person. Things resolved very, very, very quickly. And it was a completely different story. Now, this might be the case. This might not be the case. It doesn't matter. You start recognizing and seeing a lot more clearly. What am I doing? Am I playing the victim? Am I blaming the other person? Am I relying on them to change some things? Now our horizons are open. We know what to do. We know how to daydream our new experience. We align ourselves with it, and then we allow the universe, basically, or our own personal universal energy to create it for us so that we can experience it. Test it, try it. I would love nothing more for you to share your results in the comments below or anywhere in the social media pages. And if you need more help mastering the mechanics, how you can create certain things, if you maybe struggled with that, you can book a session at askmilena.com. Remember to subscribe to my newsletter as well as the channel, and click on the bell down below so that you can get notified of all future videos which come out on Friday. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.